You know what I noticed? You tend to get back what you did to God. And I noticed this because I was writing about this in my book. Sometimes we can get caught up on, I don't deserve certain things, right? I didn't deserve that. I didn't deserve that. I didn't deserve that. But in our reality, you kind of did deserve what you got. Because you going to reap what you sow. Which means you sown that stuff in order for you to reap it. But it don't always come back how you sown it. We can love our sowing season. Do what I want to do. I'm grown. I did it. You feel me? Can't nobody tell me nothing. But when that harvest come, it's a whole different story. We tend to become victims. I can't believe it. Did nobody say you was gonna reap the harvest with the same person you sowed with? But what I noticed was what you do to God come back on you. A lot of times we cheat on God, right? Because we are in covenant. We forgetting about this whole marriage thing. Jesus said he come back for the bridegroom, which means, I mean, he is the bridegroom. He's coming back for the bride, which means we are in covenant. We are in a marriage. And yet we out here cheating with other gods. We out here cheating with other spirits. We out here idolizing certain things. And we tend to forget you're going to experience what you did to God. And I used to think, like, sometimes, you get cheated on, right? And most of the time when people cheat on you, it's always with somebody that just not on your level. It'd be like, sir, are you serious? And guess what God made me realize? How do you think I feel? Here you are. You got the God of all creation, the Lord of Lords, the Kings of Kings. And yet you go out and be with unclean spirits. Yet you go out and diss me for the creation rather than the creator. So a lot of times we be hurt about it. Like, I don't understand it. And God is like, I don't understand it. Do you see how I feel now? Not saying that God is doing this purposely for you to feel how he feel, but you're going to reap what you sow. And a lot of times we don't realize you sin against God before you sin against everybody else. Anybody else. God only. Which means you may think it's about that person, but in all reality, it was to God first. And you know what changed my mind on a lot of stuff with retaliation and vengeance and trying to get back is because you don't realize that you make other people have that much power over you to first off make you sin against God. You saying, because you made me mad, because I want to prove a point, I'm willing to sin. I'm willing to go against God for you to prove to you a point. You know how crazy that is. That's sort of like an idol. I put you so much on a pedestal that I'm willing to go against my maker. I'm willing to go against the person that I'm supposed to be in covenant with just to prove a point to you. Just because I want to get back at you. Baby, you ain't that important. It's all about a paradigm shift. When you begin to change your mind, you be like, okay, it's not about you. It's about what I did to God first. So you got to think about that. What did you do to God first? A person is only, like they say, karma, whatever, but I say sowing and reaping. It's only giving you what you gave out. So you can't sit here and say I don't deserve it. Most of the time it's not gonna come back how you sown it. It's gonna come back worse. And it always comes when you least expect it. It's coming to teach you something. It's coming to hand you lessons. Because one thing about it and two things for sure, sometimes it's good for you to be afflicted. Sometimes it's good for a person to do you how you did somebody else, to show you you. Because like I said, that sowing season good. Doing me, I'm grown. Can't nobody tell me nothing. YOLO. But harvest season, I'm a victim. They did me so wrong. Slide down the wall with an ugly cry. Child, get up. You know you didn't sow that. You just mad. You don't. It's bitter. Baby, you gotta swallow that bitter cup. Because guess what? I'm a big advocate. You make your bed, you gotta lay in it. You gotta grow up and realize, baby, life is coming from me, not to me. Which means I gotta take some accountability. And when God opened my eye to that, I started to realize, you know what? I understand it. Because that, a lot of times, it's like that. When man and woman cheat, they always downgrade. It's very rare that a person cheats with somebody that is so what in a different level than the person they cheated with. And God, it's not all, but he just made me realize that is just a representation of what we do to God. You choose somebody else that ain't nowhere near on your level. How do you think God feel? You choose somebody else over him. You lie to him about somebody else that ain't on his level. The same thing is getting done to you. Why? Because first thing first, you did it to God first. Before that person did it to you, you did it to God. So you got to think about that when you get caught up on what that person did and sit there and realize, okay, I did this first. Sometimes it ain't about what they did to me. Sometimes it's just about showing me me. Life is a self journey, and a lot of times things will happen to you to show you you. It's not about what that person did, but it was about that person waking you up spiritually to make you realize, hey, this is just fruit. Like, hey, this is just fruit, which means it's a root somewhere, which means it was a seed somewhere that I planted. So getting caught up on the fruit, which is the action, I need to go back down to the root, to the seed that I planted. I repent, God, because I did it to you. I sinned against you. I sinned against you first. We getting caught up on the fruit and we need to go back down to the root of the problem. Because a lot of times people don't fix the problem. They cut off the branch. Well, let me cut them off. And then go to somebody else. Baby, you can't leave you. You can't leave your garden. You can't just sit with the same root and expect a different outcome. That's insanity. And we always say that for physical things, but let's talk about spiritual things. Why do you think the children of Israel walked around 40 years? They couldn't get it. And a lot of times we can't get it because we're so victim mindset off the fruit when we don't realize we the problem because we the root. We got the seeds. God gave you the seeds. What seeds are you planting? We don't realize it.